Are you ready for deeper meaning and bigger dreams in your life? Do you believe it can happen? Amy and Lorianne are here to clear the confusion and help you live life full out, guided by your inner wisdom to create, amplify, and align you with your highest self. Are you ready to attract a divinely blessed life? This is Living in the Faith Frequency.
Welcome back. Lorianne and Amy here with our Living in the Faith Frequency podcast, and we are so excited to share with you today a little bit about dreams and how our dreams don't go away and how we can acknowledge ourselves, we can trust ourselves. Amy and I have been on an important call today that we were with a bunch of women in other countries, and being able to share the things that Amy is going through and the different stages in her grief, it has been so powerful, and it has touched millions of people's lives, and we're just so grateful for this today, to be able to show up today and share what's in our hearts today. Amy, you have had a little bit of an awakening about your dreams. Do you want to share with them how that came to be?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start back when I was caring for Jon after his brain, two surgeries that he had. And one of the things that we talked about, like he would ask questions and I would just receive these messages, which has been an ongoing thing for about 18 years for me, that I've noticed like messages just come through. And so I've been going back through some of I recorded and I have them transcribe some of our conversations. So I'm working on a book that we talked about doing together, and I'm finding these messages that we talked about. And one of the things that I had said to Jon was, our dreams don't change. Like that's what I learned through this process, was that the dreams that him and I had together and individually, they don't ever change. Like even when he's non-physical, his spirit is still alive. He's still interested in all the same things that when he was physically beside me. And these were the messages that were coming through. And he said to me, "Is that what everlasting life is?" And I was like, yes, it is. And so I learned so much through our conversations about the afterlife, about the continuation of life, that our dreams don't change. And we can, who walks beside us might change. But for me, I've been working on getting back into my business and opening up more slots to work with clients one-on-one, and just getting back into my regular things before he got diagnosed, which has been about 2.5 years between diagnosis, caring for him, transition. And so my life has changed a lot. And it's been interesting as I have been maneuvering without him physically here, but I feel his presence. He comes through messages. I had a dream about him the other night where I was like in a room. There was music and there was singing and there was joy. And then I turn around, there's a wallet on the floor in my dream. And I go to pick it up and I open it and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Jon's wallet. It's his identity. And I knew in the dream that he wasn't physically alive. And I also knew that I wasn't in my home. And I thought, how in the world did his wallet get here? And dreams are, there's like dreams that we have that we can interpret, But to me, that was him. There was like a safe and a drawer, and I opened it, and it was his things. And I knew that was him saying, "You're opening the door, and I'm still here. You're recognizing my identity from the other side." And it got me really excited to connect with him, and I can feel him like cheering me on. Like we had a dream to co-author a book together. And after his surgery, he had a dream and said, "I'm on a stage speaking, you're with me." And I said, "Wow, what were you talking about?" He's like, "The Faith Frequency book. I was co-authoring it with you." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's amazing." And then that became our dream. We talked about that I would write this book, that he would co-author. And I've collected all of this information, audios. I've recorded and documented so much of our journey. And I'm just now to the place where I'm ready to revisit it and do something with it. And so I was talking to one of my coaches, and I just said, dreams don't change. That was the message that came out when I was talking to Jon. And that has really been an anchor for me to, as I am creating my new life, is to keep anchored into like what excited me, what lit me up, and not letting the doubt and the fear and the worry or concern about what other people think. Like, this is my dream. We talked about it, and it excites me when I talk about it. And
Yeah.
it's like, how do you keep those dreams alive, and recognizing when you get lit up from the inside and not let doubt or other people's opinions move you away from your dreams. So that's been an interesting journey for me to just keep tapping into the dreams that I've always had, and stay aligned and in that more abundant mindset, which is what the faith frequency is all about, is having faith in something before it comes into your reality. You're believing it. You feel it into existence. You believe it into existence. If it's in your heart, then it's yours. It's yours to act on and to keep showing up for yourself, because it's what brings you joy. And whatever brings you joy, it's going to impact others. And learning that when you listen to your guidance, it's for you and everyone else that is attracted to it.
That is incredible how you can speak so clearly and still be dreaming with him, and that you guys are going to do this book together. I remember him talking about that, even when we would talk. And the other day I was cleaning out all of my Zoom like recordings, that were old, that I needed to clean out some space in there. And there was one of the sessions that I had with Jon when we were on Monkey Island, and we did like 3 of them there, but we didn't capture the voice for some reason. It just was silent. And so it was so fun to just click on that and be able to hear him and see him and feel him again, and just, what an amazing man he is, and how he has been still showing up in a lot of people's lives. He's a great angel on the other side.
He really is. There was one of my daughter's friends, he mentored and coached, and she reached out to me the other day with just wanting a little bit of guidance. And I remembered how much Jon poured into her. And she said, "I've been thinking about Jon a lot." And I'm like, "Yeah, me too. He's been showing up. He's been showing up in a lot of lives, and I love it. I love it. But we have to have the eyes to see the guidance, and to
Yeah.
recognize we really are supported. God, We have all of our loved ones that have transitioned. They're still interested in all of the people, and they're pouring into us. And it's how do we recognize it, and how do we receive, and how do we keep these dreams alive? So it's been pretty amazing.
Yeah, even yesterday I was on a business call and they had given the example of, what if you are a woman and your husband has died and you've got $100,000 worth of bills and, all this stuff. And this lady opens up her mic right then and she just said, I don't know if you know, but my husband passed away this year. She was in her early 70s, and she just said, my husband passed away this year. I've got all of these bills. I quit work for the last 3 years. I have a practice that was going great. She's a psychotherapist. She said her practice had been going great, like to the point where it was exactly where she wanted it. And I know that you can relate with this because, so many things happened with you, with your business. And, you had to take care of Jon. And that's what she just said she had to do with her husband. And now she's got all of these bills. And it was so great that she opened up for a minute because there were people on the call that said, we know how to help you with that. We know how to read documents. We know how to go through them. We know how to help you get through that. And so it's a matter of us being vulnerable and sharing. And I think that's what you've been able to do here with this living in the faith frequency is really share up to date things that are happening with you as you have gone through it. And so many people can relate. There's so many people that can relate, whether, it's a spouse or a child or just some loved one that has been able to pass. And none of us get out of this life alive. So it's up to the rest of us that are here to be able to manage it and support each other and be there for each other when we're going through it.
Yeah. And I think the more that we are vulnerable and open, and you've been really great to say, hey, let's start doing these podcasts. And I just have showed up. And I think that's the key. If you have lost somebody that you love, or, we're all grieving different things, whether it's a loved one, a career, finances, health, we're constantly letting go of things, and life is in change. It's a constant. But I think as we are real with ourselves and we have safe environments that we can share in, I think it really helps us to receive the support, the guidance, the love that helps us through these changes that we go through, and learn to have faith in ourselves by showing up. And I think showing up, that's when I look back on my journey, I have just continued to show up. There's times I haven't wanted to show up.
Yeah.
And Lorianne would always say, we get into a conversation. She's like, we should be recording this. I'm like, okay, all right. I am just showing up, and I am sharing. And I think, I trust that whoever's listening on these calls will get what they need from it, because it is about showing up for yourself. It's about having faith in yourself, in your dreams, in this divine guidance that we have, God, source, there's different names that people call it, but we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And how do we get out of our fears of being ourselves and showing up, right? Because
Exactly.
everybody has a purpose. We're here to go through life together and to uplift and encourage and inspire. And I'm just so thankful for our relationship, and you've been with me at the beginning and the middle and afterwards and ongoing, and those friendships and support are everything especially when you're going through grief. But life can be challenging, and we all have emotions, and to be able to process, that's an important piece in keeping the faith in your life.
Yeah, I agree. Well said. I hope that you feel so empowered by being okay right where you are right now today. That's when Amy's saying, we're having these conversations, and I'm like, oh, we should be recording, because she'll start sharing things, and I think of you. I think of you out there listening to this and being able to relate, because you're going through these exact same things. And when she starts sharing it, to me, I can take that information and I can say, okay, this will work. These are the things that I want to do with this information. And just even sometimes it's just the peace that I feel inside my heart and inside my body of, wow, this is a safe place to come to really understand how to process, how to go through these things. And Amy has a really exciting life. Like, she is exploring things and showing up for different things, and she has been traveling, as you have seen. And those are the things that you can do through your grieving process. It's not like you're sitting around on the couch being sad all day, or, thinking about Jon all day. It is, you have these moments where you reflect, or you have these quiet times where you are being quiet and not so busy, and you get to really feel Jon's presence right there with you. And or moments maybe when you're cooking and you smell a smell and you're like, oh yeah, that's what Jon used to do. Or there's these little moments, and to be able to recognize them and honor them and just be so happy that you get to feel them. And sometimes it might trigger some tears. There just might be tears flowing, and you just maybe you might say that you're feeling sorry for yourself, but those are real honest feelings of just, wow, I miss you so much, and those tears just come.
Yeah, I never know when they're going to come, but I normally, the people I'm around are so good to just let them come and let me just feel it, because you don't want to push the emotions away. You want to feel it and then find your way through it. And I think that's been a really helpful thing for me, is not to judge any emotions that you have, and you feel it, and then you find your way through it. And that's what we're all doing through this life, is finding our way and finding our joy, and recognizing what our dreams are, what's in our hearts that light us up, and to keep moving towards those things. So hopefully you can take away from this session that if you just keep showing up for yourself, you find your way through anything and everything life brings you, and to keep having
and keep dreaming. Keep dreaming.
Yes, keep dreaming. Your dreams don't change. What's really in your heart, know that that's available to you. So, all
Thank
right,
you.
until next time, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Living in the Faith Frequency. Keep shining, keep aligning, and keep trusting your inner guidance as you live your life full out. We are here to guide you as you step confidently into your faith journey. Be sure to subscribe and stay connected. Check out the show notes and let us know what topics would you like to hear next. On behalf of Amy and Lorianne, we want you to keep talking, keep dreaming, and keep feeling blessed.